Ever wonder what keeps your favorite streaming service up and running? Or your bank? Or even your own company's entire network from just collapsing? Well, a lot of the time, it's a silent guardian, working tirelessly behind the scenes. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most important guardians in the entire IT world, Nagios.
Now, to really get why a tool like Nagios is such a big deal, we have to talk about what happens when things go wrong. We have to talk about the high cost of failure. Because in IT, when systems go dark, the consequences aren't just a technical headache, they are financial, and they are, frankly, massive.
And I'm not kidding. We're talking thousands of dollars. Every single minute that a system is down, it costs companies a fortune in lost sales, lost productivity, and maybe worst of all, lost customer trust. The hit isn't some far-off risk. It's immediate and it's huge.
I mean, think about it. In today's incredibly complex systems with hundreds of different pieces all talking to each other, something is always going to break. It's just a fact. So failure really isn't a question of if it will happen, but when. The real game isn't trying to prevent every single problem. That's impossible. It's about spotting it the second it happens, long before your customers ever do.
And that brings us right to the solution, doesn't it? If failure is pretty much guaranteed, then being proactive, not reactive, is the only way to win. So let's meet the tool that basically wrote the book on that very idea. So what is Nagios? At its heart, it's an open-source system built to be the constant pulse check for your entire IT world. It keeps track of the health and performance of everything, your servers, your apps, your network, acting as that one single place you can look to know if everything is okay.
And get this, Nagios is no new kid on the block. It's been around since 1999, and its core mission has never ever changed. Find problems early, before they can actually hurt the business. That one simple, powerful goal is why, even today, it's still one of the most trusted monitoring tools on the entire planet.
This is honestly the perfect way to think about it. Nagios isn't just some alarm system sitting on the wall waiting for a fire. No, it's like a watchdog actively patrolling your property 24/7, constantly sniffing around every corner and ready to bark loudly the second it senses something is wrong. It's always on guard. Okay, so how does this digital watchdog actually do its job? How does it all work under the hood? Let's pop it open and break down the pieces and the lingos that make Nagios tick.
The real magic of Nagios is its modular design, which is really just four main parts. First, you've got the Nagios core. That's the brains of the whole operation, the engine that schedules everything. Then you have plugins. These are the little scripts that actually go out and run the checks. You've got agents, which are like messengers reporting back from other machines. And finally, the web interface, which is the dashboard, where you see everything in one place.
All right, let's learn a couple of key terms. It all starts with a host. And a host is super simple. It's just any device on your network you want to keep an eye on. A server, a switch, a router, you name it. If it's got an address, Nagios can watch it. And then, on each host, you monitor what are called services. This is where we get specific. A service isn't the whole computer. It's one particular thing you care about on that computer. Is the web server responding? How much CPU is it using? How much disk space is left? Each one of those questions is a service check.
Now, every single time a service gets checked, it sends back a state. And you can just think of this like a traffic light for your entire infrastructure. Green is okay. Yellow is a warning. Red means critical. With a single glance, you know exactly what's healthy and what needs your attention right now.
And this all comes together in a non-stop cycle. The main engine kicks off a check, the plugin runs, reports back a state. Okay, warning, whatever it is. The dashboard gets updated instantly. And if that state is anything other than okay, boom, an alert goes out. This loop runs constantly, giving you that real-time heartbeat of your entire system.
So, when you decide to jump into the Nagios world, you're pretty much immediately going to face a choice between its two main flavors, Core and XI. Let's break down the difference because it's a really important decision.
So, which one is it going to be? Which Nagios is actually the right one for you? Well, the choice really boils down to your team's needs, your technical comfort level, and, of course, your budget.
And this slide lays out the two paths perfectly. On one hand, you've got Nagios Core. That's the raw, powerful, open-source engine. It's totally free, incredibly flexible, but you configure everything by hand, in text files. It's for the hands-on admin. On the other hand, you have Nagios XI. That's the commercial enterprise version. It gives you a polished graphical interface, setup wizards, fancy reporting, the whole shebang.
It's for teams who need a solution that just works right out of the box. Core is for the builder, XI is for the buyer.
But here's the thing, whether you go with Core or XI, the real power, the secret sauce that makes Nagios what it is, it comes from the exact same place. Its unbelievable ecosystem of plugins.
Just look at that number, over 10,000. That's not a typo. There are more than 10,000 community-built plugins out there. This is what makes Nagios so incredibly versatile. I mean, if you can think of something you need to monitor, I'd bet money someone has already written a plugin for it. In fact, this whole community-driven model was so revolutionary, it basically became the blueprint for countless other monitoring tools that came after it.
And what that means for you is that you can monitor practically anything. Basic stuff like server uptime and CPU usage. Yep. Complex things like application performance or network latency, you got it. You can even check on cloud services like AWS or have it scan log files for errors. The plugins give Nagios its superpowers.
And here's what a plugin actually looks like in action. It's not some kind of dark magic, it's just a simple command. This one here checks the disk space on a server. It tells Nagios, hey, send a warning if the free space drops to 20%, and send a critical alert if it hits 10%. It's one simple line of code that can literally prevent a catastrophic outage. That's the power of a good plugin.
So when you put it all together, that super reliable core engine, the constant monitoring loop, and this just limitless universe of plugins, you start to realize that Nagios is so much more than just a piece of software. It's the central nervous system. It's the very heartbeat that keeps our modern digital world online and reliable.
And that really leaves us with this one final thought. Bringing in a tool like Nagios fundamentally changes how you operate. It moves you from a world of frantic firefighting and just reacting to angry user emails to a world where you are proactively preventing problems before they even happen. So the real question for your team isn't just about a tool. It's about what kind of team you want to be.